This is a review of the Longines Master Collection chronograph model L26934. This is the chronograph model with the central 60-second hand, 30-minute counter at 3 o'clock, 12-hour counter at 6 o'clock, sub-seconds at 9, and date between 4 and 5. I chose this model because I like how none of the numbers are obstructed by the chronograph functions. There are two other models of this watch that have the 3, 6, and 9 partially obscured by the minute timer and sub-seconds timers. On this model, the large Arabic numerals are all visible. The 6 and 9 have just a sliver overlap by the sub-seconds and hour dials, but for the most part they are bold and visible. This model has a 44mm stainless steel case with 22mm lugs. It's water resistant up to 30 meters. I wouldn't want to get the watch wet anyways because it would ruin the leather strap. I was concerned that the case of this watch might be a bit large for my wrist. I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist, but the 44mm case looks fine. The only issue that I've had is that the regular size strap is too large. I've ordered a small size replacement strap from Swatch Group. It'll take 6 to 8 weeks to arrive, so I'll have to wait before I can wear the watch comfortably. The case height is 14.6 millimeters, which makes the watch feel pretty substantial. The watch has sapphire crystal in front and back. The crystal on the front is domed ever so slightly, which looks really nice. All of the hands are blued steel, which you have to look at in person to really appreciate. If you look at the dial head on, the hands appear black, but if you tilt the watch, you can see the beautiful steel blue color. The watch contains an L696 movement, which is a custom version of the ETA 07231 base caliber, which provides 46 hours of power reserve and has 27 joules. If you take a look at the display back, you will see the rotor and some of the other components have a beautiful perlage pattern. This was originally a functional element that would keep dust off the components, but is now mainly an aesthetic feature. When you're wearing the watch, you can feel the rotor spinning if you move your arm a certain way, so you can feel and hear the watch, which makes it feel alive in some way, which is pretty cool. You will see when the chronograph is running, the minute timer jumps when the central seconds hand passes 12, which I'll show you here. The hour timer moves continuously so you can get an idea of how long you've timed at a glance. When you reset the chronograph function, the hands snap back into the 12 o'clock position. The push buttons have a substantial feel that is gratifying when you activate the functions, and the hands line up perfectly with the markers. I've read not to adjust the date feature when the watch is between 8 p.m. and 4 p.m. because it'll ruin the movement, which is a pretty important piece of information. One feature of the watch that I didn't give much thought to until it was in my hands is the alligator leather strap. The brown leather with beige stitching gives it a real classic look. Reminds me of Indiana Jones, which is awesome. It has a deployment buckle which works great. My only complaint about the buckle is that when it is fully opened, the little teeth here dig into the leather, leaving marks. If you're careful not to open the buckle fully, you can avoid this, but it's inevitable after daily wear. Overall, I'm very happy with this watch. It is absolutely beautiful. You can tell you're looking at something special when you see the watch, and it really lives up to its name. It has a high-end feel without being too flashy. It feels heavy on the wrist, which I like. If you're considering buying this watch, I would say go ahead.